Okay, hello. We're going to start today actually lying down on your back. And you're going to come into a restorative pose with the feet wide and the knees together. Arms out in a T shape. And then just shift your body around until you feel quite spacious in the back. So we're looking to lengthen the spine from head to tail, but also to broaden the spine. You may want to slightly push the lower back into the floor for extra support and comfort, or you may want to completely relax the lower back into a natural arch. Start to shift your focus from your body to your breath. Feeling an expansion of the lungs. By breathing right from the bottom of the diaphragm all the way up to the clavicles. Feeling the front body expand. The side body expand. And even the back body, feeling the ribs press against the floor as you inhale. So trying to move the breath away from a linear concept and into a more all-rounded, encompassing breath. Notice how your mind feels clearer and more focused when you think about your breath. How the body feels more relaxed and expansive. On your next inhale, you're now going to separate the knees so they are as wide as the heels. And then gently dropping the legs from one side to the other. Inhale to center and exhale to drop. Moving slowly and mindfully. If you like, you can turn the head away from the knees, deepening the intensity of the twist. But remembering this should be a gentle twist. Just starting to soften the body. The soft, easy movements. Drop the knees to one side and hold there. Take a deep breath in. And completely relax the body as you sigh the breath out. Coming back to center and dropping to the other side. Taking a deep breath in. And sigh the breath out. Inhaling back to center. Draw the knees into the chest, flattening through the lower back. And then on the inhale breath, draw the knees into tabletop and bring the hands lightly behind the head. Flatten your back on an inhale, and then exhale to curl your head up to look at your belly button. Moving into yogic bicycle, stretching one leg and then the other. And you can straighten the leg towards the sky or towards the floor, depending on what's happening with your lower back. As long as your lower back feels comfortable and you can press the back towards the floor, then you are in the right space. I'm just working into activating the core muscles now. Connecting into bandhas, pelvic floor, lower belly. Connecting into your breath. And then coming back to center. Release the head, hug the knees into the chest. And then place the hands on the floor next to your hips. On your inhale breath, flatten your back. And as you exhale, extend both legs out at a 45 degree. Inhale to bend. And again, you can adjust how high the legs go, lifting them higher for less intensity, lowering them towards the floor for more intensity. Work with what's happening in the lower back in mind. If your back starts to arch or there's any discomfort in the lower back, you've gone too low. Try to relax the shoulders as you do this, bringing the activation and energy into the core. Let's do one more time. Straighten and hold. Really relax your shoulders, relax your neck, and then gently bend. Knees to chest. And now bringing the hands out to the sides with the palms facing down, lifting the legs up to the sky. You're going to straighten the legs as best you can. If your hamstrings are quite tight, don't worry about them straightening all the way. You're going to now lower one leg and then the other. So kicking up and down, lower and lift, lower and lift. And you can move in a nice fluid alignment. So not too slow, not too fast, just a nice sliding movement, lifting and lowering. Again, making sure the lower back feels comfortable, that the shoulders feel relaxed, and that the activation is happening in the core. Do one more on each side. Take the legs back up and knees to chest. Give yourself a little squeeze here. Let's come up to sit. You can lie onto your side or gently rocking like a ball up and down along the spine. Engaging into core as you lift. Getting a nice massage either side of the spine and making sure that the lower back is rounding completely. One more time, come all the way up to sit. You can cross your ankles in front of you and then forward fold over the shins. Completely relax your neck here. And inhale to lift back up. Let's come over onto hands and knees. Checking that hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips. You can point or flex the feet, whichever feels more comfortable for your knees, and then roll through a few rounds of cat-cow pose. You should be able to connect into those core muscles after our warm-ups. So now use the core muscles to facilitate the cat-cow, lengthening them and then squeezing them. Come back into a neutral spine. You're going to straighten the right leg behind you and push into the heel. Get a stretch into the calf muscle and ankle. Inhale back to neutral, float the foot up, and then take the left arm up as well, palm facing in. Reach fingers and heel away from one another, extending through the top of the skull. On the inhale breath, bring the hand behind you, hooking onto the toes, and then lifting the chest open, coming into tiger curl. Float the foot a little bit higher. It's inhale to extend, and then exhale to release the hand and the knee to the mat. Taking the left foot back, tucking into the toes, and pushing the heel. Firm the core muscles as you do this. Inhale back to neutral and take the leg up. Right arm to lift, palm facing in. Breathe into the expansion of the spine, laterally and horizontally. Let's take the hands behind, hooking onto the foot. Lift the chest open for tiger curl. And inhale to extend. Exhale, hand and knee to the mat. You're now going to turn your right toes out to the side, tucking the toes, and extending the left leg down the mat into a supported side plank. So right knee down, left leg back, lifting the arm over to the sky. On the inhale breath, extend your hand over the ear, reaching it forward. And now flex your back foot as you raise it up, making a straight line from heel to fingertip. Inhale the hand back to the sky. You may want to lower your leg. See how it feels. You're going to come into a curl, reaching the fingers underneath the chest, and then inhale to lift back up. Exhale, reaching under, and inhale to lift. Try to keep the leg high if it's lifted. If you lower the foot down, then anchor into the baby toe side of the foot. One more breath here. And inhale back to center. Lower the foot down, reach the hand over the ear again, and then sweep the fingers to the floor and come back to tabletop. This time taking the left foot out to the side, right leg back, right arm up into your supported side plank. Lift that hand nice and tall, and then reaching over the ear for a side body stretch. Let's float the back foot up, flexing into the heel, and reaching your heel and fingers away from one another. You can choose to keep the leg up or lower it down, taking the hand to the sky, and then exhale to curl under the ribs. Inhale to lift. One more time. And inhale to come back up. Stretch the arm over the ear, foot to the floor, and then releasing back into tabletop. From your tabletop, tucking toes, lifting hips up and back, downward facing dog. Heel toe the feet here, stretching out through the hamstrings. Let's sink both heels down to the floor, lifting those hips up and back. Either walk hands to feet or feet to hands, and making your way into ragdoll. Release the hands, rolling yourself up, one vertebrae at a time. And making your way to the front of your mat into Tadasana. Let's find the neutral alignment into Tadasana. On the inhale breath, float hands to the sky. And exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale the right leg back into lunge. And now we're going to take us into side plank, right hand to the floor. And you can either step the left foot halfway down into supported side plank, or stack the feet one in front of the other, or one on top of the other, whatever works for you. Engage into core muscles, whatever you've chosen. And then come back into plank. Let's lower knees, chest and chin to the mat. Hold here. Inhale back into plank. Straighten arms, straighten legs. Lowering knees, chest and chin to the floor. And then coming into Sphinx pose, elbows down, lifting the chest and reach the toes all the way back. Breathe into the upper body. Let's release back down, hands under shoulders, tuck the toes. Inhale, plank, and exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths in your down dog, externally rotating the inner thighs, pressing down evenly through the outer and inner arches of the foot. Taking the right leg up, inhale, exhale, knee to face. Rounding the back, face to knee. Inhale to lift, and exhale, step the foot into lunge. Opening up through the heart, sink the hips a little bit lower, and then you're going to slide the back knee to the chest, coming to stand. Make your body as tall as you can. Let's bring the foot into a tree pose, bringing the foot to the inside of the thigh, the calf muscle, or have the toes on the floor, heel onto the standing foot. Whatever you've chosen, find length into the torso. Keep the hands at the heart, draw the knee back to the chest, and then engage the leg to lower Tadasana. Take a deep breath here. Inhale, hands overhead. And exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, left leg into lunge. And then side plank, choosing one of the variations. Keep the hips square and open the chest. Exhale the hand to the mat into high plank. Inhale here. And lowering knees, chest and chin. On the inhale, come back into plank. and lowering a second time. Moving forward into into Sphinx pose, my mistake. Elbows down, open up the heart. You can keep the elbows on the floor, or you can float the elbows off into seal. Make sure you don't lock your elbows here. Let's release back down, hands under the shoulders, tucking toes. Inhale, plank, and exhale, downward facing dog. Holding into your down dog for a few breaths. Spread your sitting bones wide and tilt them up to the sky. Notice how that engages both into the back of the legs and the back of the torso. Let's inhale the left leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to face, face to knee, round your back. Inhale to lift, and exhale to step forward into lunge. Sink the hips low, lift the chest high. Let's now slide the back knee all the way up to the chest as you stand tall. Finding stability now as you shift into tree pose. So any foot alignment is fine with your tree pose as long as you're not pressing on your knee. Hands together at the heart, finding neutral back. Let's draw the knee back into the chest, engaging bandhas, and then engage the leg to lower to Tadasana. Taking a deep breath in and out. Inhale, hands overhead. And exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, right leg into lunge. And then stepping yourself into side plank. Breathing into the space, find lightness. And then exhale the hand to the mat. Inhale in your plank pose. And you can choose knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Just remember we're going to lift again. Come back into plank. And this time lower all the way to the mat. Keep the hands under the shoulders, floating heart open. Into cobra pose. Make sure your elbows are bent and that the toes are reaching back. Release to the floor, tuck the toes, straighten into the spines, really engage the core, back into plank, and downward facing dog. Breathing into your down dog. Feeling Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor, and Uddiyana Bandha, the lower belly. We don't want to suck in and squeeze these bandhas. It's a light activation and should leave you with a sense of stability and strength. Let's inhale the right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to face, face to knee. Inhale to lift the leg up. Exhale, knee to right upper arm. Inhale to lift up. And then working your way to lunge. Breathing into the lunge. Sink the hips low, lift the chest high. And then from here, floating up, high lunge. So now the hips lift up to the sky. On the inhale breath, draw the back knee to the chest. And coming into tree pose. Choosing any of those foot alignments. Find your stability in your tree pose. And then float the hands up. And as you do so, feel how the ribs expand open, creating space. Let's bring forefinger and thumb to touch in a mudra, and then reaching over to your bent knee, coming into swaying palm. Push the hips a little bit out to the side, and reach the top finger in one direction, the heel in the other direction, getting a lovely stretch down the side of the torso. Inhale, back up, hands together at the heart. Keep your hands here as you now flex the foot, drawing the knee to the chest. On your inhale breath, extend your heel forward, and then lower the foot to the mat, Tadasana. Breathing into the space. Inhale, reaching hands up. And exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, left leg back. And then making your way into side plank. Exhale, hand into plank pose. Inhale here. And then lowering knees, chest, or chaturanga. Remembering we're going to lift up again. Inhale, plank. And then coming all the way down to the floor. Hands under the shoulders as you lift the chest open into cobra pose. Reach the toes back. On the inhale breath, looking over one shoulder towards your toes. Back to center, over the other shoulder. Back to center, and releasing all the way down. Tuck the toes, engage the core, use your inhale, floating back into plank and back into downward facing dog. Staying in your down dog for a few breaths. Gripping the fingertips into the mat, rolling the weight towards forefinger and thumb. Let's inhale the left leg to the sky and exhale knee to face, face to knee. Inhale to lift, exhale knee to left upper arm. Inhale to lift and exhale through to your lunge pose. Sink the hips low, lift the chest high. In our low lunge, squeeze that back leg. Inhale all the way up, high lunge. So now lifting up to the sky, finding space into the lower back. Moving into standing balance, we're going to slide the back knee to the chest. And moving into tree pose. Connecting into your firm foundation, strong core, and a light torso. Let's float the hands up and feel the space that comes into the side body. Joining forefinger and thumb, and then leaning yourself over into swaying palm. Find space in your swaying palm pose. Let's inhale back to the center, bringing hands together at the heart. Inhale to flex the foot as you raise your knee to your chest. Coming into that leg extension now. Inhale, hold, and exhale back to Tadasana. Let's take a deep breath here. Moving into chair pose. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale back into Uttanasana. Inhale, right leg back. And exhale back into Vashisthasana, side plank. If you're starting to feel nice and strong in your side plank, maybe float the top leg up. If you feel like you need a bit more support, bring the front foot down into the supported side plank. Let's exhale into normal plank pose. And now lowering, knees, chest, or chaturanga. We're going to lift again. So make sure you choose appropriately. Inhale, up. Coming all the way down. This time not all the way to the mat if you're coming into up dog. You can lower all the way down if you're coming into cobra. And back into downward facing dog. Let's hold the down dog for a few breaths. Trying to separate your shoulder blades and draw the shoulders slightly away from the ears so that the neck feels long. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue. Use this as a recovery pose and a space to connect to your breath. Let's inhale the right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to face, face to knee. Inhale to lift. Exhale, knee to right upper arm. Inhale to lift. Exhale, knee to left upper arm. Inhale to lift. And then stepping the foot forward into lunge. Sink your hips, lift your heart. Fingertips just lightly grazing on the floor. Very little weight into those hands. From here, floating it all the way up into high lunge. Making space to open the body. Let's inhale, warrior two. Adjust your alignment to find balance between the feet. Balance between the weight of the legs. On the inhale breath, let's pivot forward, elbow to thigh, top arm over the ear. Hold for one breath. And then inhale into reclining warrior, floating the hand up to the sky. One breath. Coming forward into Parsvakonasana, sweeping the back body open, and then into reclining warrior, again holding for one breath. Coming forward into your Parsva for the last time. Should you want to go a bit deeper, that is available. If you're happy to stay with elbow to thigh, then just work into opening the rib cage. From here, let's come back into reclining warrior. And then just check your alignment. If your feet are too wide, you're going to struggle with this next movement. You may need to heel toe the back foot one space in. We're now going to lift the front heel off the mat and reach the fingertips back. Let's lower the heel back down, coming into warrior two pose. On the inhale, rotate forward, high lunge. And inhale to float the back knee to the chest. What a nice relief for that front thigh. Straightening that front leg. You'll feel how the thigh relaxes, and we're able to engage into the stabilizers a bit more. We're now going to come into figure of four pose. So bending into your standing leg, ankle coming onto your top thigh. And you can choose, you can have the hands together at the heart, you can have the hands onto the leg and sit a little bit lower, or you can interlock your fingers around your supporting ankle. Wherever you are, make sure you've got space to breathe. Let's inhale to come all the way back up to standing, drawing the top knee to the chest as you go. And now you have two choices. You can either keep the knee bent and extend the left arm back, or you can hold onto the baby toe side of that front foot, reaching the leg straight and taking the left arm back. So bent or straight, either way, and you're twisting towards your inner thigh. So the left arm is back and the left leg is up. Breathe into the space. Rotate to center. Everyone's going to straighten that leg now. Hands together at the heart. Hold it up. And gently release. Whew. Let's take a breath here. One more deep breath. Let's inhale, Utkatasana. And exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale to fold. Inhale, left leg stepping into lunge. And sliding into side plank. Lots of different options in side plank. Choose the one that suits you. Let's lower the hand and the foot, high plank. This is the last time we're going to do this. So we're going to lower knees, chest, or chaturanga into push-up. Inhale, back up. Lowering for a second round, either into up dog or cobra. And sliding back, downward facing dog. Remember, you can always drop the knees into child's pose instead of down dog. If you need a few breaths to rest and recover, please feel free to take them at any stage. Connecting into the whole body from fingertip up to sitting bones, down to the heels. Connect into the front body from the ankle to the front of the hips, and then down across the front body to the skull. Let's inhale the left leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to face, face to knee. Inhale to lift. Exhale, knee to upper left arm. Inhale to lift. Exhale, knee to upper right arm. Inhale to lift. And stepping your way into lunge. Let's hold into a low lunge for a moment. Engaging that back thigh. And then floating up, high lunge. Making space here. Inhale, warrior two. And then sliding into Parsva, sweeping the back arm over the ear. One breath. And then into reclining. Again, one breath. and forward into Pasva. So you can soften these movements, soften the energy. Inhale back. Coming forward and holding into Pasva this time. Deepening if that feels appropriate for your body, or holding as you are if that feels good. Let's inhale all the way back up, warrior two, and then pivot forward, holding into reclining warrior for a moment. Heel toe the back foot in one space, and then lift the front heel off the mat. Let's lower the heel, coming forward, and then rotating, high lunge. Inhale the back knee to the chest. Let's take a moment here as a bit of a recovery. And then when you are ready, moving into figure of four. So you can have the hands at the heart, onto the top leg, or lowering to the ankle. Let's inhale all the way back up, hands to the heart, and drawing the knee to the chest. You can choose to keep the knee bent, reaching the right arm back. So right knee up, right arm back. Or if the hamstrings are happy to go straight, then you can kick into that front leg. Let's have everyone turn forward with that leg straight up. You can hold under the thigh for a second, just to get the leg nice and high, and then hands at the heart. Breathe. And gently releasing back down into Tadasana. Let's take a few breaths of recovery in our Tadasana. On the inhale, float the hands up. A nice and slow forward fold. Release the body as you go. Slowly undulate the spine up into flat back. Just stretching the torso out here. Gently releasing down into forward fold. You're going to step or hop yourself into downward facing dog. And now in your down dog, walk your hands back towards the feet just a little bit. So you're still in down dog, you're just in a very short downward facing dog. You're going to reach the right hand to hold onto the right calf, ankle, or heel. Turn your gaze underneath, it's your left calf, ankle, or heel. Right hand to the left side. And then you turn your gaze underneath your left arm. Keep your legs in down dog alignment, both evenly pressing down. This is a lovely stretch into the QLs and the lats. I find it quite intense, really anchoring into those deep muscles. Let's turn it the other way around. So release the right hand and then bring the left hand to the outer edge of your right leg. Turn your gaze under. Square your feet. And then lightly pull into that arm to help the rotation. Let's release the hand back down. So you're still in your short dog, that's fine. Lift up onto the toes, bend your knees as you slide your hips up and back. Look between the hands and then come to hop onto the mat to sit. Extending the legs in front of you. Let's come to lie down on your back. And taking the knees into your chest. Spend a few moments just deeply breathing here. And we'll take our lying down, our reclining version of figure of 4. So right heel to the left knee, and then holding to the back of the left thigh. Gently pull that left thigh towards you as you push the right knee away. And now you'll know when you want to stop. You'll know when you've gotten to the point that feels good. If you want to go deeper, you can wrap the hands around the left shin. If you want to go deeper still, you can straighten the left leg, hold to the thigh, or come over to hold onto the calf. Depending on what's happening with those hamstrings, you can even come on to the ankle or hold onto that top foot. Make sure that your head, neck and shoulders are relaxing onto the floor though. If the head is having to lift up, you might have gone too far. Let's start to release that top leg, re-bending. Stay in figure of 4, arms to the sides, and then drop to your left side for figure of 4 twist. So you maintain that same leg alignment. Pushing the right knee to the sky, and maybe pulling the left knee a bit closer to the torso. Let's return to the center, releasing both legs. This time taking left ankle to right knee. Draw the hands between the triangle of the legs, holding to the right thigh. So always making sure we go step by step, ensuring that the body is ready for the next step. Never go for the deepest variation first, that's how injuries occur. If you want to go deeper, you hold to the shin. If you want to go deeper, you can straighten the right leg, holding the thigh as first option, or coming to the calf as second option. Maybe working to the ankle, maybe working to the ball of the foot. Keep flattening the lower back down to the floor, so you don't want to curl your tailbone in too much. Let's release the top leg, re-bend, arms to the side, and then drop to the right in figure of 4 twist. Keep pushing the top knee away and the bottom knee in. Let's return to the center now, drawing both knees into the chest. Squeeze the shins in a little bit more, and I'll start to lift your head, bringing your forehead towards your knees. Round into your back, lifting the lower back off the floor. And then slowly releasing down. Moving into Shavasana now. Bringing the feet as wide as the mat. And again, we're going to work into a space where the spine is both long and broad. So adjust yourself accordingly. Draw the shoulder blades together. Slightly tuck the chin to the chest. Maybe you want to open the jaw wide and stick your tongue out really wide to stretch the facial muscles. And then slowly releasing back down. Let's take a lovely deep breath in through the nose. Hold the breath, feel the fire, feel the energy. And sigh. Let your body melt into the floor. Slowly start to deepen and lengthen your breath. Feeling your belly rise and fall. Gently running your thumb over the tips of your fingers. Moving your toes, ankles, and wrists. Drawing feet together and extending arms overhead. Taking a long, energizing stretch as you yawn or sigh. Bending your knees and rolling onto your side in a fetal position. Take a moment here to feel the blood pressure shift. And then inhaling up into a comfortable seated position. Drawing your hands together at your heart center in Anjali Mudra. We'll close the class by chanting Om once and Shanti 3 times, taking a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Raising our hands to your third eye. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Lowering your hands to your lips, to your heart, and to your mat, bowing forward in recognition of your practice. Blinking eyes open, inhaling to lift. Namaste.